Alright, boys and girls, coming at you with a lesson on angles. Should be fairly short today. Probably going to repeat myself somewhat from some of the other videos I've done, and I apologize for that when I do repeat. It's kind of hard sometimes to remember what all I've done. I've just made like tons of these videos for all different subjects, and it's just a lot going on, and I can't always remember exactly what I have done and haven't done. So we're just going to jump right into it, though. Today we're going to talk about angles and the types of angles. Let's see. So we're going to talk about 3 different types of angles, okay? Well, actually 4, I'm sorry. 4 different types of angles. We're going to do right angles, acute angles, obtuse angles. We are not doing reflex angles. And then we are going to do straight angles as well. All right, so let's jump right into it and start with right angle. So here's what I want you to do. If you haven't done this before in your book, in your notebook, you're going to have to pause this video quite a few times again so that you can get this stuff written down in your notes. So I need you to write down into your notes that a right angle is the angle, or I'm sorry, measures 90 degrees. Right angles measure 90 degrees. And what that means is we measure angles depending on where this line is, okay, in relation to this line. So when you see this little box, and I know I've mentioned this before, but when you see this little box, that tells you that it is a straight 90-degree angle. We talked about that with perpendicular lines. So a right angle measures 90 degrees. So when you see 2 lines at perpendicular angle, that is a right angle. So pause the video and write that down and draw the picture. All right, next is going to be an acute angle. So straight up and down is going to be 90 degrees. So if this angle is closed less than 90 degrees, then the number is going to be smaller. Okay, so this one just happens to measure 54 degrees. So the fact that it is less than 90 degrees makes it an acute angle. Okay, so write less than 90 degrees and draw this out for me. All right. Not going to do reflex, so I'm going to skip that. Now, obtuse. Okay, obtuse means bigger than 90. So that 90 degrees would be right here. It opens up a little bit. That's going to be more than 90, but less than 180. 180 is going to be a straight line. We'll talk about that in a second. So that one, write that down for me. Straight angle measures 180 degrees. So that is a straight line. So this is 2 lines, 2 rays that were opened up to 180 degrees to make a straight line. So write that down for me, draw the picture. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. And again, we're not doing the reflex angles, but you can see the acute, the right, and the obtuse, and then of course the straight. All right, you've got to be able to recognize these within other pictures, and we're going to talk about that in another video about how to recognize that in another in like a picture, say like a picture of like a map with roads, or within shapes, 2-dimensional shapes and things of that nature. All right, so we're just getting the basics before we try to actually identify them within other things. Okay, so here's just a couple things. I want you to look at these, and I want you to decide what type of angles these are. It actually wrote it on here. These are all acute angles, so that doesn't really help any, but you can see they're all smaller than 90 degrees. Okay, so those are going to be acute. The next ones are obtuse. You can see they're open wider, and that's why a lot of times I'll teach kids, you know, to say obtuse because it makes it big. It's big, big obtuse angles, larger than 90 degrees. Okay, so there's your obtuse angles. And your right angles are going to always have that square in it to show you that it is 90, or it'll be labeled as 90. Okay, straight angles, obviously all at 180 degrees because that is the rule for those. And that, my friends, is it. So I'm going to put some work up for you today to do. You can always come back and reference this video. See you next time.